Peace and love to the family. Team Osiris on the horizon. This is part two of New World African Spirituality with my brother Carlos. How you doing, bro?
Peace, bro. Peace, bro. Happy to be here.
Indeed. And we basically just gonna cover some topics that we didn't get to cover last time on the show. And we're gonna go from there. And I'm gonna let Carlos start it off. He want to go in on some hoodoo rituals, and I'll add on as we go.
Yeah, so some of the things in hoodoo that's present in that we didn't get to talk about last time, a lot of it's present in African traditional systems um and New World systems, right?
Mm-hmm.
So power in words, right? Or it's called sacred voice. The real word for it is the real term for it is sacred voice. And it's in the form of incantations and prayers. It's like you got spiritual methods and physical methods. The spiritual methods is like sacred voice, using a voice to move and affect things. And then you got things like amulets for protection and so on and so forth. Then you got physical methods, which are like herbs, different type of healing aspects. So those are the spiritual and physical methods used in hoodoo.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, twofold. And so a lot of times when they healing, because the root work and the conjure, that that's based around herbs and naturopathy.
Yep.
So they have prayers that accompany the medicine. You know what I mean? So the medicine and the words go together. Words are power, and
Power. Yep.
that's a fact. So a lot of the some of the terms they used to say back in the day in the South was like put the bad mouth on.
Yep. My grandma used to say that.
Then somebody talk bad about you, they putting the bad mouth on you.
Bad mouth on you. Yep.
Or they burn bread on you. That those are hoodoo terms. You phrases that we still have to this day. If you remember, that's attesting to the power of the word.
That's real, bro. At the end of the day, that's why I was saying on the last show. It's so much stuff that we do that come from our ancestors, and we don't even realize it.
Exactly.
We don't even realize it, bro. I'm glad you brought that up.
So the power and words of the sacred voice can be seen in our great orators like Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Christian preachers, even.
Yeah.
Those words stir emotion and they move people, and that's what it's all about. The power of the words, and even in Rastafari, you got word sound power.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The Rastas know what's up.
Even to the point they got their own language.
They speak that like instead of saying oppression, they'll say down press. We being down pressed because we not up. If somebody oppressing us, we're not going up. They putting their foot on our neck. We're going down. So
damn,
they understand the power of those words. And I wanted to for further research, people could look up an article called "The Concept of Sound in Traditional African Religious Music." It's an African dude. He go in, he go in depth, more in depth than I ever could.
Okay, yeah, you got to shoot that to me, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to shoot that to you. And I got a quote from John M. Beatty from Intro to African Religion. He said, "There's a mystical power in words, especially those of an elder. The words of parents, for example, carry power when spoken to children. They cause good fortune, curse, success, peace, sorrows, or blessings, especially when spoken in moments of crisis. The words of the medicine man work through the medicine he gives. And it is this, perhaps more than the actual herb, which is thought to cause the cure or prevent misfortune. Therefore, formal curses and blessings are extremely potent, and people may travel long distances to receive formal blessings, and all are extra careful to avoid formal curses." That's John M. Beatty from Intro to African Religions. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's power. That's one of my favorite books, bro.
And he went in and he's talking about the power of the word. And then we can move on quickly to oral tradition. the hoodoo conjurers passed down an oral textbook. Some people wrote down little, cures and things like that and passed it down, but most of it was oral.
Oral. Mm-hmm.
The harvesting, the processing and working with certain roots, the harvesting times. You got to know when to plant these herbs and stuff. The techniques which plants could be harvested by human hands or animals, because some plants they believed drain your life force energy. So they use plants like that, powerful plants. They would use sick old animals to harvest those plants. And
Powerful.
and in hoodoo, some plants would believe to scream or cry when you harvested them. And some plants had to be spoken to ceremonially. You had to talk to these plants before you even pulled them up. And just like African and Native Americans, these Black root doctors believe each plant had a life force.
Yep.
And in animism, everything got a life force. Animals, people, objects, all that.
Yeah, that's as African as you can get, man. Being in tune with nature and knowing that everything is part of the whole, man, and everything got life force.
Yeah, they'll go harvest. They harvested they own. It wasn't no shops that sold like now we got shops and that sells stuff. But they had to go get their own stuff from the woods and the swamps.
Period, bro. Yeah, they couldn't go to these. See, if you go to some places like New Orleans or some places down here in Charleston, you'll see like hoodoo shops and stuff. See, they didn't have all that back then. Like you said, bro, they actually had to really go out there in the woods and in the swamps and find this stuff.
It wasn't none of that. They had to go out there, like you said. And Howlin' Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
The what was he, a blues singer?
Yeah, blues singer.
He got a song called Tail Dragger, right? Talking about
Mm-hmm.
the people go out there and get their own herbs and stuff. He say, I'm a tail dragger. I wipe out my tracks. I'm a tail dragger. I wipe out my tracks. When I get what I want, Lord, I don't come sneaking back.
Mm-hmm.
What he's saying when he about wiping out tracks, that's what's called in hoodoo a protective behavior. Well, they believe that like when you go somewhere, you leave footprints in the woods. You know what I'm saying? So they believe that somebody that wished you harm could gather your tracks or your footprints. So people, you ever seen like my grandma used to do this. She used to sweep the ground up to her.
Yeah.
Like she'll sweep the walkway. I'm like, Grandma, why are you sweeping dirt? Like, what is you doing?
Yeah, my grandma used to do the same thing. Yeah, if you sweep and somebody sweep her feet, she'll go crazy.
Exactly. It's a spiritual science to that, according to hoodoo. And it erases your footprints so people won't pick up your footprints. Kind of like DNA being left on the scene, like spiritual.
Yep.
And another thing was eliminating hair. If you got long hair, you got your hair braided, what you do with it? After that hair,
Burn it.
What you do?
What, burn it, right?
Exactly. You burn it. You feel me? So you discard that hair. Women discarded their menstrual flow, fingernails, any personal items. You know what I'm saying? Burning the hair was the best method. You didn't even want to flush it down the toilet or put it in the trash. You had to burn it to destroy it.
Oh man.
Man,
I thought about something you brought up, Howlin' Wolf. A lot of that blues music got hoodoo in it. Like when Muddy Waters say he got his mojo working, he talking about his mojo bag.
Exactly.
A whole lot of that music got hoodoo in it, man.
And hoodoo is very prevalent in the blues,
Mm-hmm.
And in one of the last protective procedures was just not eating strangers' food, because you didn't know who wished you harm. You ain't eating the spaghetti at no stranger house. You already know how that go.
Oh yeah, it's to this day.
To this day, that's passed.
And in the chat, Sister Tiffany said, "Don't split the pole." Yep, that's one too.
Don't split the pole. Don't. You know what I'm saying? All of these are things that we have still to this day, but we don't really think about what the origin of these things come from.
Something simple as if you step on a crack, you break your mama back. Like we don't even think about it. We say stuff, don't even think about it, man.
So those are things that And then, you know, you like I said, you got those are the spiritual stuff. Then you got the naturopathic techniques that are still passed down. Now, I was at work, you know, after I had caught COVID, and then I had got better, came back to work. I work with the public, an old lady. She telling me all kind of cures, like you need the ginger and this and that, you know. So I'm like, I'm listening to her though, you know, because
Yeah.
this stuff is real. Like, you know, some of the stuff that get passed down was pennyroyal tea for female issues, sassafras tea for measles, mint tea for abdominal pain, Spanish moss for asthma. And they also bury, like if you had something wrong with your body parts, like your arm, your leg, they would bury it in dirt because the mineral content, and they believe the power of the spinning earth could heal.
Oh, that's powerful, bro.
So yeah, those were just some of the things I think we forgot.
Tiffany, before we move on, Tiffany had a comment. She said Muslims played a major contribution in the blues as well.
That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
The blues, a lot of that is from the Senegambian region, and then that north, you know, that northwest Africa and all that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Even the you know, the Mandinka brought the core over here. You know, and that make way for the guitar and everything else in American music. So
the banjo, all of that,
yeah,
that's African derived.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, if you go over there to Mali and all of that, they have great blues singers. Like,
yeah,
hey, Islamic, they, you know, they fully dressed Islamically, but they, you know, they got their own, you know, origin of where the blues came from. And we
even the storytellers, the griot ain't nothing but a blues singer, because when they telling the story, they playing the chord.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. To this day. So we brought our griots over here.
And that makes way for the blues, that makes the way for jazz, that makes way for hip hop, all this griot culture. So
indeed,
man, a lot of stuff you can't get around.
Indeed. It's no way to deny that. If you wanted to, you know, say that, you know, you can't really deny your African origin if all of these connections are made. Blues, a lot of the spiritual practices that are passed down to this day. It's really no denying that we are Africans in a new world.
Mm-hmm. And you want to get into the slides, bro? So we can show them things.
Before that,
mm-hmm.
let me talk about the shared characteristics between all these traditions we about to.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
So every tradition in the New World that is African derived has similarities, and I'll just go through them real quick so we can go on here, like you said, get the slides going.
Okay, yeah, you good, bro. Take your time.
The first one is a combination of monotheism and polytheism.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a supreme, in all of these traditions, you got a supreme deity, and then you got a pantheon of deities who are emanations of the supreme being.
That's African tradition, no?
You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
And they are the like, kind of like angels. They are like the messengers between man and this universal supreme conscious being.
Indeed.
So the second one is a cult of ancestors. These ancestors watch over and influence events from a spiritual realm. We got belief in power or energy that can be put into objects, humans, minerals, vegetables, animals. Like I said, these are objects that are infused with spiritual power. You see what I'm saying? With intention is put into these amulets and these different things. You got belief in nature spirits or animism, like we was talking about earlier. Plants and trees have energy, a will, or a soul. Everything does have this energy. Contact between humans and the spirit world, for example, divination, initiation, sacrifice, possession, healing. All of these are in all of these traditions. Also, material receptacles of divine power, sacred stones in Lukumi, the cauldron, and the sign tracings in Palo. We're going to talk about that. The sacred drum in Abukur, the podometon or the central pole in Voodoo, music and dance. That's another thing that's present in all of these traditions. Sound has the power to transmit action. Drums, polyrhythms, spoken or sung word, chants, dance. All these produce like an altered state of consciousness that enables us to communicate between worlds. I know Brother Hero put us on to that book. I think it's called Music and Trance.
Yeah, music and trance.
Yeah, and that's talking about, I'm quite sure, I haven't read it, but I'm quite sure it's talking about the altered states of consciousness that this music and chants put us into.
I see Brother Kungfu in the Facebook chat. He said truth.
So, if my brother Comfo say it's truth, then it's truth. Because I know. No, he know.
Yeah, this is bro thing right here. I already know he was gonna tune in.
So yeah, we can get into the slides or whatever.
Word. Oh yeah, he said Los, you going in.
For sure.
Yeah, we're gonna give him a few visuals. Let me get everything straight here.
Yeah, we got so much cultural retentions, man. We got so much culture, so much to study. Like, used to be like, we ain't got no culture. We don't have New World culture too.
Yeah, exactly. We took all of our original cultures and basically put them together, man.
And adapted it to our environment.
Exactly.
So yeah, that is a lot of stuff. We also, when we marooned, we got with some Native Americans, and we adapted some of their traditions as well. Even Europeans, like the African is a ingenious. We use ingenuity and we adapt. So some of the, like, we say for instance, we got caught somewhere in West Africa. We over here now. We like, man, them rituals we was using while we got caught, it ain't work. Yo, we gonna have to. Hey, look, that white man right there, whatever he doing, let's take some of that, because what he had worked. So we would throw away what didn't work for us and keep the best part, like the guys say. You feel me? Keep the best part for us and throw away what didn't work for us.
Exactly, bro.
That's the thing. We very adaptive. That's a part of life. Adaptation, natural selection. You feel me?
And now I don't want to share my screen.
Oh yeah.
Hold on. Let me see something.
Definitely. I see something.
You see it, bro? Can you see the screen?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. You still see it?
Yes, sir.
All right. This first slide, you want to get into these symbols from Cuba, bro?
Yeah. So, man, Abukur is like a secret society coming out of Cuba, and those symbols are used. It's almost like a language, like a secret language. It's related to, like, what is it called in the in Sibiti? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In Africa, it's in the Cross River Basin, present day like Nigeria and Cameroon. There were lodges or initiation society called the Ekpe, or the Leopard Society. So they have the same thing. It's called Insibidi. It's a symbolic pictographic like language. They also have a verbal language. They'll go to Nsibidi right there. Now that's the African symbols.
And what I ain't mean to cut your wisdom, but what European scholars be telling us that they brought us over here that we didn't have no language in West and Central Africa. We didn't have no language, no written language, and the only African language, written language, was the Meta Netter in the Nile Valley. But at the end of the day, ain't language just ain't A B C D E F G? Ain't those just symbols, bro?
Those are symbols, bro.
So what we looking at? Ain't these just symbols, bro? That mean something. So that's
we looking at West and Central African symbolic words and letters.
Mm-hmm.
That we are, like you said, I don't know what they talking about. Maybe because they didn't know what we had. It was also a secret. We could speak in a language that they didn't understand. We could write these symbols down and they wouldn't know what we was talking about. It's a secret. It's a secret society. You feel me? We the real Illuminati.
All right, look, you got a symbol for love, unity, hatred, divorce, speech, meeting, Congress. Like, come on, man.
Yep. That originated with the Afik people in Nigeria and Cameroon and all of that. They basically like it's kind of similar to Freemasonry. They had lodges all over Central West Africa. The bad part about them though is they let a few Europeans in because they was all about trade. They was all forming organization. They was all about getting to it, getting money and building empire and building villages and stuff like that. So they did let some Europeans into some of their lodges in order to gain what the Europeans had. You feel me? But the funny thing about that is a lot of them got involved in slave trading too.
I can see that happening.
And guess what? They ended up themselves getting enslaved.
Yep.
That's why they ended up in Cuba and started the Abukur. So the Ekpe Leopard Society in Nigeria, Cameroon, and the Calabar region of the Cross River region, they became the Abukur. The Ekpe became the Abukur. And you can see that in the dance in Cuba, and you can see it in the uniform costumes that they wear and stuff like that. It also revealing the secrets to the outsiders could be punishable by death. This was a real secret. This is a real secret society.
Oh, yeah, they're serious with it.
They still, they still around too. So they using that Cross River language and symbols in Cuba.
Still to this day.
To this day, secret codes of communication. Like I said, we got the Nsibidi in there. And it's called I can't pronounce it. It's called Anaforwana right there. That's called Anaforwana in Cuba.
That's why I went back so they could see it's the same symbols.
Same thing. They pictograms that convey messages.
And on this next slide.
Now that's getting in the palo. Now this is called a Patty Pimba. And basically, if you remember in previous shows we was talking about, this comes from so Palo is heavily influenced by Congo religion.
Congo, yep.
So when you look at like we talked about in past shows, the Congo cosmogram, if you understand Congo cosmology and Congo religion, then you will see and you will understand Palo.
I was about to say, I see the cosmogram in all of these.
Exactly. The essence of the Congo cosmology can be seen in the cosmogram, the Dikinga. But you can also see it in these Patty Pimbas and Palo. You know what I'm saying? So that looks like similar to what the Abukur have. It's not the same thing, but
it's all similar. But I see a lot of the symbol. I see some of the symbolism in there.
Right, similar in usage. You know what I'm saying? It's all about cyclical change, like the Congo cosmogram. Everything survives, but it changes form. 4 points of the sun, so on and so forth. It was a large Bakongo population in Cuba in the 1700s. So, you know, all of this is Congo derived.
Okay.
And that's from Haitian voodoo in Haiti. The Vave. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
The same thing. Oh, now this is right here. You sent me these pictures, bro. This is powerful, man.
Right. That one on the left is a Congo Nkisi. And the one on the right is Haitian. That's a New World tradition. Now, when we get into voodoo, a lot of what people know about voodoo, like we don't really know. We only know really what, you know, if you're not initiated, we only really know what the books say or what we seen on TV. But it's I come to find out it's very deep. Like the whole Haitian voodoo system is deep, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was gonna say too, man. For a lot of this stuff, we going on surface information, y'all. For a lot of this stuff, you got to be initiated, man.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, I'd never get on here and fake like I'm initiated in any of this stuff. I study it. I study the culture, and yeah, initiation is very important, man.
Yep. Because it gives you the vantage point to understand how all this works together. We looking from the outside in, so we speaking from an academic and a historical perspective. But if you initiate it, then you know what's up. You know what I'm saying? But you know, now these are the Abukur dancers from Cuba. Now the Abukur, they call Diablitos or devils. That's crazy. They got the ceremonial outfits, the multicolored checkerboard outfits, with the conical headpiece and a tassel. Those are just like the Ijagam people in Africa and the Ifik and the Ekpe people, the Ekpe society I was talking about. It's a secret in Cuba and in West Africa. It's a secret male only society. The Abukur and the Ekpe Leopard Society. They secret societies, male only. The females got their own thing. And these are Abukur derived from that Ekpe Society. You know, it's the same thing, but just on different sides of the Atlantic.
Atlantic, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a hierarchical organization with rituals and secrets that are closely guarded. Like I said before, back in the day, you would get whacked for
And I had to give right after that. We got the same thing across the Atlantic.
Except that's in Nigeria. The first slide was in Cuba. This is in Nigeria. It's the same thing. You can see that dude on the left with the checkerboard, just like the Cuban dude. He got the triangular conical headpiece, checkerboard, outfit. It's the same thing. They also got a sacred drum called the ekwe that they use in initiation, purification. Like I said, they got the esoteric language, the signs, the Insibidi and the Anaforana. You know, it's kind of like Freemasonry. It's like our own, like, you know, we could say that we are the original Freemasons.
Yeah, I tell people, man, when people start getting all spooky about masonry and stuff, I tell them straight up, secret society started after.
You heard me?
I mean, that's period. I mean, you call it what you want. You ain't got to call it masonry, but secret societies, or whatever you want to call it, communal societies, I call them, it started after. And it's all about forwarding. It's all about uplifting the community and making sure everything's running good. And
yeah,
we need to get back into stuff like that over here in the West, man. Like
we really do.
Knowledge is sacred, and everything ain't for everybody. And I think we forgot that because we're in the information age. But you know, some stuff got to be sacred, man.
Man, that's an excellent point, bro.
And I added this right here, man. I wanted to get into this, man, because I listen to a lot of reggae and I study a lot about Rastafarianism. And I was building with a Rasta brother, and he said he put me on something called Kamina. And he said that's what they was practicing in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
The Rastas was practicing before they got into the Bible. So I went to the Encyclopedia of African Religion, which I can show right here, which I'm showing my source on it. And Kamina, a Congo tradition, another Congo tradition, bro. That's another thing. A lot of these Caribbean beliefs got in common. I noticed a lot of them got Congo traditions.
Heavy Congo.
And Kamina, also known as Kalunga or Kadunga, is a Congo-based religion primarily found in the parish of St. Thomas in the eastern part of Jamaica. It is quite likely that Kamina emerged there as a consequence of the presence of large numbers of Africans from the Congo and Angola region, although other African religions existed there as well. The numerical superiority of the Africans from the Congo and Angola region allowed their religion to be dominant and to integrate aspects of other African religious traditions. The practice of Kamina is also attested to in the parish of St. Mary and St. Catherine, but to a lesser degree, although the origin of the word Kamina is still debated. One likely source is Kambinda, the name of a particular Bantu people. Although Kamina followers believe in the highest god, Otto, also called King Zombie, from the Congo word Nzumbi, meaning spirit god. Their religion evolves most critically around ancestral spirits and veneration. Those ancestral spirits, named Zombie, are called on during ritualistic ceremonies to inhabit the bodies of living humans and deliver messages through them. Now, you see how they take our culture and turn it into pop culture and make money out of it?
Yep.
King Zombie is where they get the concept of a zombie from in the West. When you're talking about The Walking Dead and Night of the Living Dead and stuff like that, that's them perverting African spirituality and making it into horror movies and stuff. Like, that's our culture. That's something that we brought over here.
Wow.
And a zombie ain't got nothing to do with somebody getting up out the grave. It's your ancestor spirit. And they made it into something scary. So that's crazy.
We got to take stuff like that back. That's why we need more people like us in Hollywood that can reverse that.
Yeah, a zombie ain't supposed to be nothing scary. Not to us anyway. And that's the thing. It scared them. That's why they made it like it is. Because they were scared of our spirituality.
Oh, yeah.
To them, that's scary.
Yeah, we wanted them scared too. You know. But yeah, the Kamina.
And there's some more about Kamina. Kamina, this is where the Rastafari come in at. Kamina also gives its name to a drumming style developed from music that accompanied the spiritual ceremonies, which you can see on the right, that evolved in urban Kingston. The Kamina drumming style has a great influence on Rastafari music, especially the Nyabingi drumming and Jamaican popular music. Count Ossie was a notable pioneer of the drumming style in popular music and continues to have a significant influence on contemporary genres such as reggae and dancehall. And I got another source, and I'm gonna put it in the chat later. The marijuana, the smoking herb that the Rastas do. Well, in Kamina, marijuana was one of the herbs they used for sacrament. So that's something else that the Rastafari got from the Kamina.
Oh, okay.
See, and I talk to a lot of Rastas, they don't know this. Because I guess how would they? Like, it's been so long. And
is that why when you look at Rastafari, it gives you that African vibe, even though now it's very Torah based, like but you see that African vibe, especially like you said in the Nyabingi.
They still got the Nyabingi drums, man.
Okay, that makes sense. Speaking of speaking of Europeans being scared of us, I think it's only right to move into two traditions that strike fear in a lot of Europeans, and that would be Obia, and another would be Palo. So I talk about Palo first, right?
Okay.
Like we was talking about, it's a New World Creole tradition, but based in Congo systems, right? You know, like you was talking about in Kumina, Palo is Congo based, just like Kumina is. So the creator deity in Palo is called Nzambi, right? But in Palo, well, Nzambi, like most African creator deities, is really kind of like uninvolved in human affairs. So, you know, the creator is not really looked at like a sky daddy and things like that. It's more like an energy, like a creative energy.
Energy, yeah.
It don't really, you don't really pray to it or, you know, you do that mostly with like your blood, your ancestors and things of that nature. But you know, so like Lukumi, which is like what they call Santeria, that's like a Yoruba-based committed relationship with the Orisha, you know, where you give it offerings, rituals, ceremonies, you know, to a particular whatever your Orisha is. But Palo is more, it's like a pact with a spirit. You know what I'm saying? It's more magical. They use magic is more used in Palo, so that's why, you know, it's kind of scary. It was scary to Europeans, and it's kind of scary to the people who know about it.
Yeah, I tell you, man, them Congo-based traditions, them Europeans really scared of that stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Like, especially in the Caribbean, they outlaw everything.
They outlaw Obia for the same reasons, and you know, so yeah, Palo is they use pacts. They, you know, they do deals with these spirits, you know. Instead of a pantheon of deities like the Orishas, the Congo people in the New World, they rather just control the spirit, you know, control spirits. You know, they're healing, charms, formula, spells, just like Hoodoo. You know, it was more or less of like a religion, but more of like using this magic for their benefit.
Yeah, I see that.
You know, they also communicate with the dead. You know, so the spirit that they use, they have a cauldron, almost like a witch pot. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I done seen that before.
It's called an Nganga, or a prenda, and it's like a cauldron that the spirit lives in. You show earlier the Patty Pimbas; those are they sacred drawings in Palo, which are important in Congo traditions, like we talked about the Congo cosmogram and the Vaves and the VVs and Voodoo and the Abukur stuff. So the Patty Pimbas, or those drawings they do on the ground, they pull spiritual forces inward to the center while extending outward towards the four cardinal points of the universe. That's what those symbols do. Pull spiritual forces in and extend out to the four cardinal points of the universe. That's a reference to the Congo cosmogram and the four moments of the sun and the 4 points of the universe.
Yeah. That's why I say, man, all them symbols, I can see the cosmogram in it.
Yep. And they communicate with spirits through trance. They use divination. And it's crazy how these Caribbean traditions are linked. It's a bunch of syncretism going on because the Paleros and Palo, they use 4 types of divination. 2 of them they borrow from Lukumi or Santeria, the coconut and the shells. That's like Yoruba influence. The other 2 the other 2 divination methods they use are Congo system divination, something they call fula, which is gunpowder. And they use a mirror for scrying, for looking into a mirror to do divination, you know. So yeah, Palo is very interesting. It's a Congo tradition. The initiation is even different than the more of the Yoruba based stuff. Like you get cut, you got to get cut like with a knife on your flesh. You get cut. They scared them Europe. They scared of that. Like these.
Yeah, they scared of that, bro. They still is, man.
Yeah. So, you know, everything go in order from Nsambi, the creative energy, to the souls of your ancestors, to the dead, which they control, and spirits of nature, you know, because Palo means like sticks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, They scatter that Congo based stuff. You know, we can get into Obia too.
Oh yeah.
You know, in Jamaica.
When I was reading up on Kamina, they kept saying that too. A lot of people get it confused with Obey because what the Europeans did, they called any African spirituality, they called it Obey at one point.
Right. That's true.
How scared of Obey they was.
That's true. It's like so basically like Obia is like it's like you said, they call any kind of supernatural work or any kind of root work in Jamaica or in the islands or in those islands, period. They called it all obey.
Mm-hmm.
But it's basically like poison, healing, spirit work, and charms. All that they classified as obey. You know, it's two main theories on how it originated. The first theory is that it comes from the Igbo people. And it's a form of spiritual medicine because the specialists in the Igbo tradition is called Indiobia. And the Igbo faith is called Odinani.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you got the Igbo theory, and then you got the second theory that it comes from the Akan. Like you said, the word Obeifo mean witchcraft in the Akan languages. You know, it's also an Afik, like we was talking about, Calabar Cross River connection. The word Ubio means ominous, bad, threatening, unpleasant. So most likely, it probably comes from all three of those. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I was gonna say that I think it's probably a mixture of all three.
Right. And that's that Obia, you know, the Akan, the Ashanti, you know, the Maroons, you know, speak a Akan influenced language. The Coromantee Maroons in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And they god is called Unkampong. He identical to the Akan Nyame. So the Jamaican Maroons got the same god as the Akan.
See, that's powerful, man.
It's the same thing. The Coromani got a cult for Asarsi, which is the god of the earth, right?
Yep.
So the Akan knew Asarsi as Anansi.
Oh, that's powerful.
So you got the Jamaicans calling on Asarsi, the god of the earth, and then you got the Akan coming from the Akan, the Anansi. You know, the earth spider, it was the teller of tales and the disperser of wisdom. It's a wisdom deity. The memory of creation. The mind of Niame or Unkampong in Jamaican Coromantee Maroon traditions. So that spider, those spider stories passed on divine wisdom. You feel
man? See, bro, I just gotta say this, bro. And I don't even talk about nobody's belief, but that Abrahamic stuff ain't got nothing on African spirituality,
man. Not nothing talking about the memory of creation.
Yeah, it's deep, bro. Like, oh, it ain't got nothing on it, man. And I see Ngozi joined this piece, bro. What's good?
Peace, bro.
What's happening, man? Peace and love, man. Team Osiris on the horizon. How y'all doing, man? Peace and love to the family.
Love, bro.
Y'all good? Man, hey, y'all beating it up, bro. I think it's an honor for y'all to be doing this, man. You know, teaching and liberating the people, allowing them to know who they are. This West African thing is very serious, yo. And it's like what I always say, and we've been teaching it for years. You know, without the sub-Saharan African, it gives everything its flavor. You know, no matter if we touch Islam, we can claim that shit too because we gave Islam a spark. We give Christianity a spark. We give the idea of any form of spirituality, regardless of if it comes from the earliest animist systems, it's sparked from that sub-Saharan African flavor, trops, where we come from, the creative mind. You know, and I really want to thank y'all for liberating the people and allowing them to know the importance of our history and the things that we contributed over here in the West. You know, we get caught up in trying to be native. We get caught up in trying to be everything else except, you know, that mighty divine sub-Saharan African that we descend from, especially primarily coming from the Congo and our Mandinka ancestors and our Yoruba ancestors. So this Western Sudan and Congo Creole shit is very real to us, or this Mandinka Creole shit is real to us. And I thank y'all, man. You know, Brother Carlos, you're doing your thing. Brother Malik, man, I really thank y'all for doing what y'all doing, and I'm listening, man. I want y'all to go ahead and keep it moving, yo. That's power.
Peace, bro.
Hey,
Peace and love, King.
coming from you, bro, that mean a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Man, I say,
And Gozy the GOAT. I know he don't want to say it, but
man, hey, one body, one soul, King. We on the move, and we own it, yo. Like, we take this shit serious, man. So we own it, man. Like, y'all getting it in, and then when people listen to this, they gonna be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit we know. See, we so what make us gifted that we can play with the Abraham thing, like Brother Malik was saying. You know, we don't really need it, but yet and still, we gotta we gotta understand that even with the Abrahamic faith, none of those people was shit until they came in contact with people from Africa.
Exactly.
And even going to the Nile Valley, they get their roots from Sudan, which gets their roots from the heart of the continent, which always go back to you. So that divine spark is going to always be you at the core. So I mean, so anything we touch, we turn to gold. That's the power that we are. We're the real magicians, you know, the real alchemists, understanding how shit works. So this flavor that y'all giving, breaking it down, understanding the power of the spider, understanding the power of the signs and symbols that we created, that's some real shit. For real.
that's peace. Yeah.
We gotta we gotta shit talk in the YouTube chat.
What he saying? What he saying?
Abrahamic stuff is the reason y'all don't eat pork. Africans eat pork and rodents. And then he said,
First of all, where's the pig indigenous to? And if you want to talk about wild hogs or boars, where's the pig indigenous to? Those people on the continent are not the same people. You got over 1,000 people over there. So what people are literally eating pigs? And if you're talking about wild boars, what group of people ate that collectively? See, a lot of these people hate themselves, and that person hate themselves. You don't want to be a continental African. You want to be some shit from the Middle East that got his flavor from the continent. And you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. If you want to understand,
they got their roots from Mesopotamia, not Africa. Yeah, you hate yourself.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. Them people over there some fucking a bunch of hybrid ass motherfuckers in the middle of nowhere. Get the fuck out of here with that goofy shit. They got their roots from. No, they didn't, motherfucker. Animism, the learned language of speech, Fox Peace 2 gene for communication, all come from the heartland of the continent of Africa. What the fuck are you talking about? You talking about some mud bricks in Mesopotamia? Oh, vagabond ass motherfuckers. You sound silly as fuck. Get that shit out your back. Get out of Abraham's ass, bro. And understand that Abraham had to go to the land of Kemet to understand what the fuck he knew. You sound goofy as fuck. Mesopotamia. Get the fuck out of here. Them goofy ass motherfuckers. Them niggas was getting sniped. And they still getting sniped. And they still can't figure out what the fuck going on over there. They're in the middle of nowhere. Get your ass out of here with that goof ass shit, yo. See, we're not gonna tolerate no disrespect from no motherfucker from the continent. This nigga named Elion Mahaya or whatever, some bullshit. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Goof ass shit. That's some goofy shit, bro. And I bet you that nigga black as space, and he hate that part of himself. He hate it. Talking about some goddamn Abraham, Mesopotamia. Get the fuck out of here.
Nah, yeah, you blocked, homie. You talking about drop the link. We ain't coming in here.
Drop the link. Fuck out of here, bro. The Wolof wasn't eating no pork. And everybody, and you know, we gotta understand what a wild boar was indigenous to and what part of the continent it was in. Half of the people didn't even eat that. Most of the people that was in the western part of Africa near the Sahel was eating fish, a lot of fish. Then we gotta understand where the time
got their European, man.
That's what I'm saying. Niggas don't even understand zoology and what animals certain animals come from. Abraham people got Abraham got his shit from the continent. Look, let's just be honest. Yahweh. And I'm gonna play with this Abrahamic shit a little bit. Yahweh don't come from Israel. Yahweh came from the Shashus. And the Shashus were the Midianites, and they got the culture and customs of Yahweh from the fucking parts of the Red Sea in the Nile Valley. Look up the root. The Canaanite deities they worship.
And what they Bible say, Moses trained in all the ways of who?
The Egyptians. I am your Lord who comes out of Egypt. This nigga Abraham, before he get to Egypt, he bowing down to Mount Chezedek, learning Canaanite customs, who was inspired by people in the Nile. We learning that they getting their alphabets from Metal Netta in the second phase of Heretic. Get the fuck out of here with that goof ass shit, bro.
Yes,
straight
sir.
up.
He trying to hate on us.
Without Africa, you don't got no flavor. There's no flavor. That Mesopotamia shit dry as hell without a sub-Saharan component, yo. For real, that's some goof ass shit. How could you say that? Niggas crazy as hell.
He was probably black as Wesley Snipes too. Talking that crazy.
It's space. It's space.
Dude, tripping, man.
Congoid looking as fuck, but he want to be a motherfucker, a nomad in the middle of nowhere who has no sense of identity. Get the fuck out of here, yo. Look, we could claim all that shit because at the core of it, it was you that inspired it. At the core of it, it was you that gave it flavor. Even Prophet Muhammad sallam knew that his people wasn't shit because he said, "Be weary of the desert air." His right-hand man was Bilal. We was the first one to call out the Adhan when you said that Fatiha. If it wasn't for you doing that, that shit wouldn't exist. Period.
That's facts.
I mean, what did he run to? They had to run to what? Let's go to the land of Ethiopia where the people have done no wrong. If it wasn't for the Abyssinia or Ethiopia, which is sub-Saharan Africa, Islam wouldn't even survive. What the fuck you talking about, bro?
Mm-hmm.
They made fun of Zipporah, who was a Midianite. What did Moses learn about the Midianites? Zipporah was supposedly an Ethiopian, which is Moses' wife or Musa's wife. But what was Musa's wife? What was she from? What did they learn about the concept of Yah from? Yahoo, the zone of Yahoo. The Midianites were the Shashus, and a lot of them had sub-Saharan African Ethiopian ancestry from the Red Sea. What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
He just learned something.
He better look it up and get his head out them camels' ass, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he really just got taught. That's what happened.
That's all it was. It was a learning lesson for him. He ain't know.
Here go another one. Hey, bro, the title of the show what got him coming, Carlos. I swear they see African, they got to come in here and say something.
What'd he say?
What the next one say?
So there aren't any there aren't sub-Saharan Africans that are nomads.
Of course. But we're not talking about that. We talk about. Well, I mean, that's like me asking, so there's no African rapists? Nigga, we're not even talking about us. We're talking about the people that other people are venerating. We're not talking about the nomadic pastoralists like the Fulani that wander all through the Sahel. We're not talking about that. We're talking about people who are embracing other people that looks nothing like them and have a genetic distance from who the fuck they are. That's what we're talking about. So of course there are sub-Saharan African nomads. People been wandering around for thousands of years, millions of years, since hominids developed.
But these people ain't venerating African nomads. They venerating foreign desert nomads. That's what the problem is.
Crazy, bro.
Ass.
Look, man, I love the enemies. I love it. And I love talking about the continent because it makes people angry. And every time we pull them shackles out of motherfuckers and they start getting mad when you talk about it, them the motherfuckers I know to stay away from with their evil ass. Them niggas slaves. If you got an issue with the continent or you got an issue with anything about the ancestral lineage that you descend from, you are a fucking slave, yo. And it ain't nothing else. I ain't nothing to talk about. You're a fucking enemy to me. Period.
They in the Facebook chat, they say, boy, go to snap.
It's crazy, yo. Hey, King, I'm gonna rotate though. I'm gonna be back.
Hey, yeah, peace, bro. Yeah.
Peace. We right back. Oh man.
See, you put Africa in the show title, man. People start pulling up. That's crazy.
The hate is real.
Yeah, man, it's sad, yo.
Like I was saying though, a Sarsi in Jamaica, a Nancy, and then you got Aunt Nancy when you get to South Carolina and Georgia.
Yep.
Aunt Nancy is still that memory of creation, but it's associated with a spider, just like in Jamaica, just like in Africa. Matter of fact, spiders are used for divination in Cameroon. It's a book called Spider Divination in the Cameroon. It's a book called Spider Divination in the Cameroons. Black cats and spiders, that's good luck in Georgia and all that, or was.
Yeah, it was.
It's still taboo to kill spiders to this day.
Yeah. Hey man, if I'm at my mom's house or something, I try to kill a spider, she tell me just put it outside.
You hear me?
She won't let me kill it.
That's that memory of Aunt Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Like I say, man, so much stuff we do, man.
You hear me?
I'm saying, like, culture, you can't find culture in a book, yo.
Nope.
Right? Like, that's the thing about these African spirituality and African beliefs. Ain't no book you can run to and I mean, it's books now, but as far as back then, and now with no books, culture is passed down.
Yeah, you got to live out this culture. Ain't no book.
Yeah,
We
like
walk the our
even
culture.
like we were
Walking.
talking about that dude about customs from the Nile Valley. Yeah, I could go buy a pyramid text or coffee text now, but 3,000 years ago, you had to be initiated to read that text on them walls. Everybody can read it. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I see about African beliefs. Even when we come over here, man, they're initiatory. Like you got to go through something to get this knowledge.
Yep, it ain't free.
Yeah, it ain't free, man.
But we just shed light on it. If y'all really want to know, go get initiated.
Yeah, man.
Don't fall for no scammers though, because you know it's a lot of scammers out here.
Yeah, if anybody in your inbox talking about they can initiate you, they probably a scammer, man. You supposed to go see. You supposed to go seek the priest, not the other way around.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it ain't man.
But that Obia was scamming them people, you know. Obia is a power that you can give too. I can give you Obia if I got it. You know what I'm talking about?
It's real.
And if you get, you know what I'm saying, it's an apprenticeship, you know. It's the same thing with hoodoo. It's either passed down through your family or somebody get with a conjure or root doctor and learn. Same thing with Obia. You get with an Obia man or Obia woman, and you become their apprentice, and you learn these herbs, you learn these spells, and so on and so forth.
See, I was trying to explain hoodoo to this Jamaican brother one time. He didn't really get what I was saying, and I said Obia. He was like, "Oh, okay." I said, "Man, it's the same thing, man."
It's the exact damnness thing.
I said, "It's just in the States, and that was in Jamaica, but it's basically the same thing." Man.
Cause unlike Haitian voodoo and Yoruba Lukumi and stuff, Obia and hoodoo is not connected with like a church or like it's not orthodox, you know, it's not set up like that. It's kind of individualized. You feel me? It's really a big community like that. It's like individuals doing their individual work.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I noticed that when we was preparing for the show and I was studying and looking through the material, I noticed that too. It ain't really a big organized thing like that.
It's kind of, you know, you got to go to the woods and find that Obia man in Jamaica. You can't go to no Obia temple. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now when we talk about Obia and these different Caribbean things, we got to talk about rebellion.
Definitely.
What do voodoo, Haitian voodoo, and Jamaican Obia got to do with rebellion? Because it's connected.
Mm-hmm.
It was an uprising in Jamaica in like 1760 called Tacky's Rebellion. Tacky and his followers, they took over like 5 or 6 plantations. One of the slaves, the next morning, they killed all the slave masters, took over like 5 or 6 plantations, and one of the slaves that was with them snuck away to go snitch.
That's crazy.
When he snuck away, all the Obia men circled the camp and start blowing this powder that they got for protection. What this did was boosted their confidence. It's a psychological thing. Everything ain't always spooky either.
Yeah.
So when these Obia men get to blowing this powder, that's how everybody getting hyped up. Like, let's go. You feel me?
Yeah. That's why I tell people about the Haitian Revolution, man. Like,
same thing.
There wasn't no spookism.
No,
They
sir.
seen them slaughtering them pigs and doing them rituals. Bro, they was scared.
Yeah. Yeah. The Tacky's Rebellion. If y'all not familiar, look it up. Tacky was a Fanti slave. And his war chief was from Dahomey. Tacky was also he was like a king of his village back in West Africa. So yeah, the Obia is connected with rebellion as well. You know what I mean? Because it's a very fiery type of tradition. It's not all peaches and cream and kumbaya. You can get war. You can go to war with Obia. You can go to war with Voodoo. You know, so.
And I see another crazy person in the YouTube chat.
They coming out the woodworks.
He killing me because he got a picture of Haile Selassie as his picture, but he disrespecting Africa. That don't even make sense. But
right,
I ain't anybody give him no time of day because it's retarded.
From Africa, ain't he? Last time I checked.
That's what I'm saying.
Crazy.
Like if you a roster, you really sound crazy right now, dog.
See,
right? See, that's crazy, and that's why I say Rastafarianism didn't start with the Bible. It started with Kamina. Go study your belief, brother.
Go study Kumina, bro.
He say voodoo is spooky.
All right, tell that to the Haitian Revolution then. Tell that to Makandal and Duddy Bookman, who was chopping heads off. Boy, you crazy.
Yeah, he talking about General Butt Naked in Liberia practicing cannibalism and stuff. Well, go over there and tell him if he was still alive, would you go over there and tell him his voodoo is spooky? He might get you. What are you talking about then, man?
He getting us off the subject. Fam, I want to debate.
I blocked him, bro. Yeah, people crazy, man.
He bugging. Anyway, if I send a duppy at that boy, you know that's from Obia. Even Drake know what's up. Duppy freestyle. Drake know what it is.
Yeah.
But Drake, he loved Jamaican culture, so you know how that go.
And wasn't that the Whaler song that Dirty Conqueror? Yeah.
Yeah, you hear. The Whalers did one. Lee Scratch Perry and Bob Marley got a song called My Cup where they talk about duppies. Capleton talked about a duppy and slew them. So a duppy is like a restless spirit, and it's kind of like Palo in that aspect where it's like a restless spirit that you catch duppies and you send them at people and make them, you make deals with them, so on and so forth. It's that's a difference between the ancestral spirit, which is like your family member or somebody from your lineage.
Okay.
But duppy come from the Ga language around Ghana. You know what I'm saying? And it's a whole thing about the duppies, and people, they believe Obia they believe you got like two souls. It's two parts to your soul. You got a spiritual aspect and then an earthly soul. And so that's what they be doing. They be catching the earthly soul or whatever. But yeah, man.
That reminds me, man, the Igbo beliefs, they got like 3-4 parts of the soul.
Exactly. And it's from that same, Obia has those Igbo roots. Igbo, and the Akan, it's like a 3-part, merged into one. All of these systems are syncretic. Voodoo too. A lot of people don't know that it's nations in Haitian voodoo.
Yeah.
Each area that the slaves came from. So it's like Yoruba nations, they're called Nago. You got Igbo nations called Igbo, Wangol called Angola, Senegal called Senegal, Guinea from Guinea, and Congo. And all of these are nations within voodoo. So it's different type of voodoos, depending on where you was from. But yeah, man.
Powerful, man. We could go on all night, bro. Like really. I think, man, okay, part 1 we really did in the States.
Yep.
This one we was really talking about the Caribbean. I think third one, man, we'll go to the continent, man, and just put it full circle.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that.
You talking about no parts of the soul, that remind me of the Igbo.
Yeah. That Obia has some origins in that area, in those people.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into it, and some of these comments got me want to get into it too. I'm gonna show them the I'm gonna show these dudes the art story that the Dogon and the Mandinka got.
Exactly.
It's older than any of that Abrahamic stuff, since they want to go in the chat. Yeah, that's why we gonna go ahead, bro.
I got a book. And everything we was talking about, if anybody want to like fact check it or just want a book for their own use, I got a good one right here called I don't know if they can see it. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it, bro. Oh man.
Yeah.
Creole Religions of the Caribbean. Yeah, I gotta get that, bro.
This got everything you need to know from voodoo to lukumi. We should have had somebody on somebody on the show. When we got a few brothers who initiated into Yoruba systems.
Mm-hmm.
Should have had somebody on the show.
Yeah, consul priest.
Consul. And we got, but brother Cuban Crisis too, right?
Yeah, he initiated and Luca me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yes, but man, I don't know. You want me to keep going or you want to stop? We had an hour.
Man, we had an hour, bro.
Yep.
I'm putting that book in my cart on Amazon now.
Let me go through voodoo real quick then.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, bro. Yeah, go in.
So voodoo, Haiti, voodoo. It's a monotheistic religion. Got a supreme deity called Mawulisa. That's what it's called in the Vodun, in the Dahomey and the Iwe area. Mawulisa is the supreme deity. In the Yoruba, Olorun, you already know that. And it's called Bandye or Grand Met in Haiti. The people of Haitian voodoo, they serve a pantheon of spirits called Loa. And the Loa are the link between humans and the divine, Kind of
like the Orishas.
Exactly. The Loa could definitely be, considered the same type of thing, like these entities, these energies too. In Haiti, just like in Cuba, the slaves arriving in the New World was divided into nations, like I was talking about earlier. When you came into Haiti, Cuba too, they separated you by where they got you from, what port they got you from in West Africa or Central Africa, and they divided them into nations. Each Loa identifies with one of these nations. There's 8 nations: Rada, Petwo, Nago, which is Yoruba, Igbo. I went through that. The largest nations in Haitian voodoo is Rada. These are home of the wise and cool spirits who they're more they came from Africa, these spirits. And the Petwo. So you got Rada, where these cool, benevolent spirits the slaves brought with them to Haiti. And then you got Petwo. These are fierce, unruly spirits that come from Central Africa. They like Congo spirits. And creolized in Haiti. These Petwo rites, or these more fierce spirits, were born, they fierce because of the slave trade. All that blood, all that rape, all that horror from the slave trade, it got used in the Petwo Loa.
I'm noticing that, bro. Hey, I'm noticing something, bro. Like the slaves, that's another way. That's another way to show approve for the slave trade deniers, which is crazy. Slave trade gets incorporated on spirituality. Even at home in the Congo, the line on the cosmogram, it represents the separation of the life and the death. Now, some of them teach that represents the Atlantic Ocean and where their ancestors was taken to.
Yes.
So we incorporate. We see that's the thing about all beliefs. They can evolve. We can add on. We can, like the guys got plus degrees, like that. We can always add on.
Exactly. We constantly add on. That
stagnant.
That Petwo, right? Like I said, it's Rada, which is a major nation in Haitian voodoo, and Petwo, which is like New World, which is like more the Creole. Once we was over here already, so they got the Petwo. That's what they did. The Haitian. That's the rite they used in the ceremony before the Haitian Revolution. They swore their loyalty to a Petwo deity, and they took an oath, and then they sent it up.
Yeah, it's psychological, man. Ain't nothing spooky, man. That's what I tell people.
Yeah.
It's a psychological thing. Just like praying, it's psychological, man. It ain't nothing spooky. You just gotta know the science.
Exactly. Yeah, it's some Congo influence in Haitian voodoo, depending on what nation. Yoruba influence, depending on what nation. And then the communities in voodoo, Haitian voodoo, revolve around an umfo or a temple, and it's led by Hugin, who is a male, or a mambo, that's a female priest or priestess. So, they got their litanies, they initiate. That's what the Hugin or the mambo do. They do initiations, they offer consultations, spiritual advice. They use herbal knowledge for remedies, health, luck, protection. Similar just like the all the other ones, all the other Creole New World traditions. But yeah,
powerful, man.
Yeah, and we use these systems, like I said, for revolution, for community, to bond together. And we brought Africa with us. We literally brought it with us. Wherever we go, we bring Africa. That's why we got that.
That's what I'm saying. You
feel me?
What's that quote? I wasn't born in Africa. Africa was born in me, man. That's the realest quote, bro.
That's true.
We bring it with us.
We bring it with us. We bring it with us. Everywhere we go, we consecrate it. We bring that drip. You feel me? We bring that. Wherever we go, we bring sauce. You feel me? Yeah,
like bro said, we give everything flavor, man. We
get everything flavor. That's African tradition.
Dude, one of them crazy dudes who I blocked them said, yeah, what about the voodoo priests over there dancing with no technology and their feet ashy? Huh? But you got rich Europeans paying to go to Benin to get initiated, though.
Right, man.
So they know the power behind it, but you don't. See, something's wrong. Stupid, man.
See, I hate when people start arguments like that. Yeah. Do you know, okay, if they dancing around with their feet ashy, why? It's a reason why Haiti is economically in the position it's in.
Exactly, bro.
It's because they don't play that shit, and they killed the French. They was killing motherfuckers, man. Excuse my language, but that's what the fuck goes on. You think them motherfucking Europeans forgot about that shit?
Exactly.
They sent Napoleon ass run. Get your goofy ass out of here.
Exactly.
They had motherfuckers running for
they don't study, man. People don't study, bro.
Yeah, they don't study. You better study history, and you better study why Haiti is looked at the way it is. You better study why Cuba has a revolutionary spirit, why Haiti got a revolutionary spirit, why Jamaica has a revolutionary spirit. Quit playing people, man.
But yeah, bro, we can go ahead and wrap it up, bro. Till next time. We're gonna do the third show soon. We were playing with this one, but I want to do that in a couple. We're gonna do that in a couple weeks, man.
Yeah. We could definitely put together. You said the continent, right?
We can go to the continent and we compare and contrast to what we done already talked about. Just put it all, make it all full circle.
That sound like a plan.
Because I mean, even with the continent, some of that stuff is similar in synchronicity.
Yeah. We were synchronized over there.
I'm gonna make sure we got Ngozi on too, because he can show you the path for all these people coming from the Sahara and going in different directions. And that'll show why stories are similar.
He gonna go in.
Yeah. Yeah, we can put something together. We're gonna put something together, man. We're gonna go from the States to the Caribbean to the continent. We're gonna go backwards from the way we came.
Man.
But yeah, bro, we can go ahead and wrap it up, man. And you want to close out, say anything?
I just want to close it out with we do this so that we could get people comfortable with their African selves. We know we in America, we know we spread out in the diaspora, but it's nothing wrong with embracing your past, your history, your traditions. And like you said, we can throw away what we don't need and add on what we do need and move forward. It's all about evolution. That's what the Congo Cosmogram teaches you, the 4 movements of the sun: life, death, rebirth, so on and so forth. Peace to the family.
Peace to the fam. And I want to say, before we do that part 3, we're going to do that show. I'm glad you said that. We're going to do that show, Republic of New Africa. That's gonna be next. I want to do that first.
All right, okay, we can do that first.
Yeah. Peace and love to the family. Team Osiris on the horizon. Peace to the fam. Black African power. We out.
Peace.
Hey, that was a good show, bro.